Hey guys, what's going on? Let's make sure we are actually live. Let me make sure all my videos. I think I got all the right cameras and everything. Yep. Looking good, looking good. Uh, Alrighty. I think it's saying that we are. Yeah, it's saying that we're live. Always got to make sure with YouTube. What's up, guys? It's Diana here with Entree Women TV, helping transition your passion into the business that you love. Again, my name is Diana Gladney. I'm a small business development coach at dianagladney.com, and I do small business tips and tricks and things like that that you should know to help you form a strategy around starting a side hustle that you want for your small business. So if that's something up your alley, definitely consider subscribing. Make sure you hit that bell notification as well down below, because when we go live on different networks like here, maybe Instagram, YouTube, but specifically here for YouTube, when we go live, you will get notifications for that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell. So today is a very important day because, and I think we're live. I just want to make sure. I said it's always kind of funny with YouTube. It's always questionable, so it feels. Let me mute here, but while I'm checking this out, making sure the stream is live. If you're just joining, even if you're watching this on the replay, we're definitely going to be getting started here in just a few quick moments here. Again, I just want to make sure that this is working as it should. That's not what I want. But today's topic, we're going to be covering just some of the basic things that you should know. If you are on the email community or you've liked the Facebook page or what have you, then you would have already by now received communications about this particular live stream, as well as information about an upcoming live stream that will be happening Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what that particular conversation will be centered around actually be like a small training. There has been a new recent tax bill that just came out. That new tax bill is very, very important when it comes to small business entrepreneurs. And if you're not familiar with it, don't feel bad about it. It's definitely not a blog post. It's 1,000, I believe, right, 1,100 pages of the new tax bill, and it is massive. I still haven't read all of it. It is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I know I've definitely done like 800 pages and maybe, oh, I don't know, 4 days. It was 4 days, maybe four and some change that it took me to do 800 pages. So I just didn't have the time this week, Christmas, all that good stuff. Looks like the stream and everything is going well. So that's good. Let me just check the audio, make it a little reverb here. No, 4 days. It was 4 days, maybe. Good and clean. So we're good to go. Alrighty. So again, today we're going to be talking about just understanding some of the things when it comes to your specifics that you should know about your small business taxes. Taxes can be, it's not a sexy topic, right? Video may be demonetized for it because I said sexy, but who cares? This is about business. But so when it comes to your small business, I mean, taxes, they are just not sexy. That is not the thing that most people think about as being the thing that they want to do the most or whatever. It is just not the thing when you're first starting a business, but it is a very important part of starting your business. One of the things that was very troubling to me, put a little Carmex on so I don't tear up this mic over here, but one of the things that was super troubling to me about getting involved in business, as you guys may know my story, initially got first introduced to small business, getting started in network marketing, regardless as to what you think about network marketing or your particular beliefs. That was an incredible avenue of business that really helped me to understand the what's and the questions, more importantly, the questions that I should be asking and that I should know when it comes to starting a business. Most people start, in network marketing as just something to do, or they're not really sure what to do, or they call it a business, but they don't own it as their particular business. And owning it as your particular business means that you know the ins and the outs of running that particular business entity. Most people don't even know to create a business entity or anything like that. A lot of the people that are just getting started, have just got started themselves, that when they're bringing and introducing people to the business. If you haven't already been introduced to network marketing, it's an incredible field where you can learn a lot. Most importantly, for me, help introduce me to personal development content. However, again, the second most important thing that it helped introduce me to was um, small business finances as well as taxes. Taxes is one of my favorite subjects, surprisingly, in my nerdy self. It's one of my favorite subjects when it comes to entrepreneurship and business because it's the thing that nobody talks about. I will go to meeting after meeting. I will go to convention after convention. I will speak with speaker after speaker, and all I would hear is how home business tax deductions matter. Home business savings are available to you now because you are now an entrepreneur. When you signed your name on a dotted line, you became an entrepreneur. Great job, everyone. But nobody talked about how you can actually start to take advantage of some of those tax savings that should be available to you as a new entrepreneur, or what kind of business entity, business structure. Those conversations never happened. It was always about the product or the service that is entailed within that particular business, and nobody talked about the actual business logistics when it came to starting up your own company. You get the personal development tip, extremely heavy. You get the maybe some salesmanship tips and things like that, maybe trainings around that, how to bring more people into the business, how to further and better explain the product or the service or whatever. But nobody talked about the logistics of the business, and that's a problem for me. That was a big, 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 big problem for me. When it comes to, again, running and operating a business, you got to know this stuff, because when you file your taxes at the end of the year, you never want to be in a place to where you're questioned about those from IRS tax audit agents, and you have no idea what to do. And I ask person after person after person, what do you do for your taxes? What do you do for your taxes? What can you tell me about taxes? What can you tell me about this tax stuff? I keep hearing about this tax saving stuff, but nobody's saying anything about the how to. I got a lot of stuff. Well, my cousin's an accountant, and I just kind of give him all my stuff. Or I just kind of keep all my shoe boxes in a Ziploc bag or a shoe box, and I just give it to, my accountant, or I give it to H&R Block. A lot of people go to H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, and stuff like that, which is fine, but it is just not. Uh, Checking on something here, but it is just not like, okay, so we're going to get into the content in just a second here, but I just kind of want to give you a little bit of backstory. And I know I'm talking fast because this is one of the topics I'm kind of excited about, but I'll try to slow it down for you that may be reading closed captions or any of that good stuff. But when it comes to your particular finances, like, you have to take a care into that specific content. You have to take a care into that specific information. I'm sorry, that's just like leaving the well-being of your children, leaving the goodness discipline to somebody else for your kids, leaving the well-being of your marriage or your relationship to someone else. Not doing it. Me personally, not doing it. And I'm just trying to check these streams, so I'm kind of multitasking here. Is that private? Let me see. Let me double check something. Um, I think we're good. If you're joining in live, let me know if you guys can see, hear, and all that good stuff. I just want to make sure that this is coming out the way that it's supposed to. I want to make sure that it's not private, but that it's listed as public. I believe that it is. Okay, it is. I can see all that I need to see for that. And I'm seeing that my screen went out. Low battery. What? No battery power. Gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. Oh, this is not good. All right, let's get this swapped out. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. I'm here. I'm just swapping out the battery. I know I should have did the non-stop power source thingy bobber, but I thought it was good. Get in there. Seriously? Seriously. All right, let's do this. There we go. I wonder. Alrighty. So technical difficulties here at the offices of the small business startup. I think we're good now. That's crazy. I have plenty of battery, but it went out on me. No worries, we're good to go. I want to make sure the stream is still going because we got content to jump into. Do. You live and you learn events. If you ever do a YouTube live, these kind of things can happen. Live control room. Okay, so let's jump into the content because this is super important stuff and I don't want to waste anybody's time, especially mine. I think everything is good with the video, so I'm going to move forward with the thinking that we're good to go. Think so. Looks like we're fine. Yep. Okay, I can see we're back live, so good. I'm good to go. So today's content is specifically important because let me move some stuff around here. So today's content is specifically important because, again, understanding your small business taxes is a must. At the end of the day, it's just a must. And as I was just describing to you guys before we had a little blackout, that you have to take a care into your specific financial situation. Again, that's just like letting somebody else manage your paycheck for you that has no idea about finances. And that's exactly what happens when you send your taxes to H&R Block for your business. They don't even have to be tested for home business tax deductions and savings. So this is kind of like a preliminary talk, discussion, what have you, when it comes to the conversation that we'll be having Friday, because none of that stuff that happens with the new tax bill really matters unless you know and you understand what's what when it comes to the regular basic stuff that's already available to you, and then how those things are impacted in your small business. This live stream is going to drive me a little bananas tonight. I don't know. I'm just maybe a little anxious about how this stream is turning out, but I'm moving forward regardless. So let's do it. So here's the thing that you want to understand when it comes to tax saving deductions. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of good content. There's a lot of bad information and bad content. The thing that you want to do is get access to what's important to your specific area of business or your specific niche. When it comes to your specific niche, that's your special small segmented market or area within the business. You can have and be into the food industries, but you can be into the fast food industry versus, 5-star high quality restaurant, that kind of quality restaurant versus, again, a fast food burger chain, if you will. That's two different segments of the same kind of restaurant market. Then you can further segment that list down even further to a more concentrated area, to where it's not just fast food, but that it's a food truck specifically. Let's say it's for chicken and French fries, whatever, greasy spoon kind of stuff. So now you're looking at the things for my mobile business that deals with the food industry and stuff like that. What's important to me? Well, if we stick with this particular example of a food truck industry within the restaurant business, then that specific business is going to have different qualities, different requirements, similar than that of the 5-star restaurant quality business that's in place, like, a restaurant at, some super 5-star high class, place. So when you're talking about, let's say, this food chain or whatever, this on the go, this on the wheels food chain, now you're looking at a particular vehicle that's being used primarily and probably only for business. So you have some mileage and things like that that you want to take into account. You also have the expenses for your supplies and all kinds of things like that. You also have those for even just the drive in your regular car, maybe to go and pick up those supplies. And maybe you're only using that truck on the weekends, 3 or 4 days out the week, maybe. And so any other time you're transacting business, figuring out what sites that you can go to. You have things like communications with different companies. So you have a computer, you have internet access, and you may be running this from a small office or a small corner in the room of your home somewhere. It could be in the basement in a corner or something like that. There are a lot of different things that now begin to become compounded in your business. So when it comes to the tax savings, you have to think in measures like that. What are the activities that I'm taking in my business that's important for me to maybe pay attention to? If I listed out My daily activities, not thinking that anything isn't important enough, but if I really list out these activities, then what activities am I doing? So again, sticking with this food truck, I'm sending out emails on a regular and consistent basis, 3 to 4 times per week. I may be spending about 5 to 6 hours in front of my business, maybe developing a new updated menu, developing a new pricing strategy, taking a look at some of the other food trucks in the neighborhood or in the city, or the different restaurants, or not restaurants, but the different businesses where I go and I park. What are some of the events that are coming up? So it's a lot of research that may go into it. I met a gentleman who actually took a regular, maybe like cargo van, truck, or something like that, just something that may have been used for, like, let's say UPS, for example. Completely stripped it out, completely, changed it all the way, and decided to make it into a food truck, built it up from the ground up. It's now, making who knows how many thousands of dollars per week, because I know for a fact it is several thousands of dollars per week. And so now you're talking about these expenses, your manual labor. How are you going to pay yourself for your business? All of these specific nuances of your business become very, 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 very important to the success of your business. So is just not something that you deal with at the end and the beginning of the year. It's not just keeping up with receipts. It is just really the function of your business, and really determines how you're going to operate. So those are some of the things. So when it comes to these different activities that you have that are going into your business, are going to impact your financial report, if you will, then now you have to understand, what are some of the challenges that I'm experiencing. A lot of people hate this conversation of finances and taxes, simply because there is, whether it's numbers, math, or just the IRS, it produces a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. And it did for me too, because most people, they just don't know what they don't know. And so that fear will keep a lot of people from getting involved and doing something, and being an active participant in their own business. So when that move some stuff around here. Okay. So when that becomes a problem, you have to, again, take it from the small bits and pieces and begin to dissect it. That's it. Small bits and pieces, and begin to dissect it. Again, the first thing that you can really do is start to dissect your day. And what are some of the things that you are doing? What are your daily activities? One of the things, I don't have my phone with me, or even if my other phones around, but my cell phone is one of the most important tools. By far, the most important tool is how I run my small business consulting business, so that I can teach my clients information like this, and break down and unpack the specific content about what they are going to be dealing with in their business, simply because they don't know. Um, have clients that deal with service-based industry, or they're within the service-based industry, as well as the product-based service industry, and things like that. So um, one of the things, once you have decided what your particular list of functions that you have, that what's your operation that you're doing in your business on a daily and consistent basis, just the ins and out inner workings, right? Beyond this, the spending money, the tax savings that are available to you, to your small business. Let me say this one thing. Even if you are brand new, if you haven't started your business yet, or you are a year, 2 years into your business, or what have you, one thing I want to forewarn you about, and I'm sure you've heard it before as well. Taxes are not about avoiding the IRS. Taxes are, a business tax savings is not a way to get around paying taxes or anything like that. So if you go into starting a business with that kind of mentality, with that kind of spirit and energy and stuff like that, that stuff will turn around and bite you in the butt, and you'll find yourself in a problem that includes your personal as well as for your business. I was talking to a young lady who was wanting to actually she wanted to do something. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, I was describing it to her at one, with the kind of entity and the way the things that she was trying to set stuff up. She was probably going to be filing like a Schedule C, which would be on her regular personal tax return. Well, she did some shicey stuff, and was claiming some kids on her tax return that weren't hers. And, most people, you'll hear that, or you'll hear similar situations where they try to do some funny stuff to kind of get around paying, or pay less taxes or whatever the case, by far the best thing that you can do is run a successful business, run a successful small business, than try any of these tax schemes. And she wind up not being able, she wind up having the privilege of not receiving any tax return at the beginning of the year and actually having to pay a penalty. Uh, be glad she didn't get any jail time or anything like that for trying to scam the IRS and the government. Not a game that you want to play. You will always lose every single time. So let's create a plan. Let's create some strategy, some small things that you can begin to do, especially with it being towards the end of the year. Some things that you want to be able to do, and I'm going to take a sip of water here in a second, just around your small business savings. So if you're watching live or on the replay, let me know any questions that you have concerning your small business. Again, the major training that we're going to be covering is going to be on Friday, this Friday, 7 p.m. I believe that's the 29th of December. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I need some water. Mason jar, old school. Okay, so let's go back to this food truck business example. If you're the owner of that small business, that's a food truck or what have you, let's talk about some of the common deductions that you really should know. When it comes to just the basics, I don't care what kind of a business that you're in, these three major deductions that you can um, probably be able to take advantage of properly, legally, and successfully, and all that good stuff, you're probably able to do these different kind of ones. So here's the first one: mileage. Um, I don't care where you are in the world. You can be in the most deserted island. Even though I have operate a online small business development firm, I still have things that I have to do to travel. So it doesn't matter if you are a brick and mortar business. It does not matter if you have a mobile business, and it does not matter if you have an online business. The whole point is that you have a small business. At some point, you're going to need to drive to the office supply store. You're going to need to drive to, um, Restaurant Depot is a place that we have here that does food for businesses like that. You're going to have to go someplace somewhere. I had to go for any of this technology equipment and stuff like that, or this microphone. I had to go online. So there are different things that you have to do. I'm going to come back to going online in just a second, but your mileage, your car, and your gas, all those things that when it comes to your mobile driving entity, if you will, or not necessarily entity, but your mobile driving, whatever, you know what I mean, your car. Okay. And so when it comes to your car, this thing is a machine that's partially being used for business, maybe primarily being used for business, but to some degree is being used for business. What is that business use percentage? We'll talk about that again on the Friday live stream more in depth. Probably give you some examples and things like that. But your specific car is being used. The gas is being used. The mileage, the wear and tear, the depreciation, and all of those different things have to be accounted for. So there are different ways legally that you can be able to go for a drive. And let's say you need to go to the office supply store. Along the way, you decide to go to a sibling's house, your grandmother's house, or something like that. There are ways to still be able to take advantage of those small business tax deductions, even though your trip was not only just to that office supply store. But if the primary reason for why you were taking that trip anyway is business, then you have some things that you can do to be able to take advantage of those. And so again, when you go into the second thing, so let's talk about some of those supplies that you may pick up. Again, so this light that's lighting me right now is a light bulb, the microphone or the windscreen. These are supplies, the books, the journals, just the things that I use in my business on a regular and consistent basis, that I'm operating this business regular consistent basis. That is a very specific term. I'll come back to that on Friday. So make sure that you plug that up here. So when it comes to that, these are things that you need. You're going to need stuff like pens. If you lose your lens cap for your $1,000 camera, you're going to need a lens cap. You're going to need batteries. As you saw, mine went out, but I had a spare. okay, the camera only came with one, but I had to invest in a spare because I'm doing things like these live streams, providing content, providing valuable and meaningful content to my community that eventually drives more traffic to my business, that brings a profit and income to my business. So everything matters. Every little thing matters. So there are ways that you can also be able to take advantage of those tax savings by buying supplies for your business, and they have a real use. It's not just buying stuff for the sake of getting a tax deduction. Again, go into this stuff with the right spirit and the right mindset. Stuff is for a reason. This stuff is for a reason. When I'm doing, you know, public speaking engagements and things like that, need batteries, need extension cords, need all kinds of stuff to operate and fulfill my business, right? The mission and the purpose for my business. That stuff becomes important. So that's that. So you have mileage, gas, you know, your tax deductions when it comes to those things for your car. You have those when it comes to the office supplies. So these are how these tax deductions relate to your business and the things that you're doing, and the things that you're using them for. So let's talk about meals, for example. On occasion, I may meet with a potential client or something like that at a restaurant. If I'm traveling, let's say I'm going to a business convention, I used to travel a lot and go to business conventions. Those cost money. They are not cheap. And when you go there, you have to do what? Eat. Now, it's just not going out, eating whatever you want, doing whatever it is that you want to do, because you'll get a tax deduction at the end of the year. It doesn't work like that. It has to be for business. And there are different percentages when it comes to business. I actually want to show you, see here, I want to show you some of those different things. And make sure that you check out my website. Go to thesmallbusinessstartup.com. Actually, I can show you that right now. I can exit out of that, and let me share my screen with you guys so that I can show it to you. Screen share right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see my particular website. Now, this is over at thesmallbusinessstartup.com. Let me just jump to the top. Thesmallbusinessstartup.com, dianagladney.com will all get you to the same place. Now, should be able to see it. I believe you can. So what you'll see right here is over in this right-hand corner, top right-hand corner, you will see a magnifying bar, and you'll type in taxes, you hit enter, and it'll bring you to this specific page. I have done a lot of content. Let me switch back over real quick. So I've done a lot of content on my particular website, from podcasts, blog posts, and I'm also starting to incorporate more videos, specifically trainings and things like this. We'll do probably more in-depth trainings in webinars and things like that, like we'll do on Friday, which will just kind of be more or less an open webinar, be available on the channel for anyone to view. But when you go to my website at thesmallbusinessstartup.com, again, or dianagladney.com, whichever tickles your pickle. And I don't believe that's a vulgar term, but hope not. But if it is, I apologize. But I thought, whatever. So, so when you type in taxes, hit search, it'll bring up some of these different areas of content that I have produced. So you have episode 61, managing your new small business finances, and we discuss taxes and tips. Definitely going to come back to TaxBot in just a second, but that is incredible content. So I produced some really amazing stuff here. It's one of the books that we're going to be talking about in just a second. Talk about why Googling it, phrase Googling it, is killing your particular startup business. All of these things relate to finances and taxes in some relations. I also have episode number 33, which, before we actually jump into the live training on Friday, I definitely suggest that you listen to this particular podcast, episode number 33. I believe it should be thesmallbusinessstartup.com/show 033, how to stop losing money in your small business tax deductions. Really kind of go in depth talking about that there. But even these were some of the 2016 rules when I'm talking about these specific things that I'm talking about right now. So back in 2016, some of the percentages when it came to the specifics for your business. You had 54 cents per mile that you drive. So again, going back to those specifics when it talks about what it takes for the driving. So especially if you have this food truck example that we were going with, 54 cents per mile. How much money are you throwing out the window because you do not know this specific content yet? 19 cents per mile driven for medical or moving purposes, which was down from 23 cents in 2015. It was also 57.5 cents in 2015. We were talking about uh, driving for business. 14 cents per mile driven in service for charitable organizations, going to your church and providing service there, going to different nonprofit organizations. Again, pull this stuff from irs.gov. I'm going to be creating an updated post for this for 2017, 2018, and to talk about some of the books and stuff like that. But talking about really, really phenomenal stuff. Again, that's going to the smallbusinessstartup.com, and that search bar, type taxes, and you'll get access to that specific content. Even though it's a little outdated from the time that it was written in 2016, it still has the link where you can go find the stuff for this year. Haven't written the post for it for this year, but definitely have that there as well. Also, my course at the free course at startingyourbusiness.live goes into understanding the difference between the federal side of running your business as well as the state side of running your business, and how those things come into play when you're talking about running your business, or even just coming up with one, and that's startingyourbusiness.live. So I want to jump into discussing some books that I believe is very, very important, because I never like to just give some stuff and be like, okay, take my word for it and you're good to go. Please trust and believe that anything that I provide as far as content, I'm always making sure that I'm giving you specific resources, links, details on where you can find that information. And sometimes you can just Google it, despite my blog post, and sometimes find the content that you're looking for. If you don't find the source, if I just mentioned something on the video, forget to post the link or so forth. So at the end of the day, because we're going to wrap this up, I said it was going to be a quick one, quick chat or whatever. Let's see. I don't know how long we've been going live for, but I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know. But as I said, I never like to leave you guys without knowing something. So at the end of 2017, we're here now. It's finally here. 2018, we're knocking at the door. So what are some of the things that you can do? And I unfortunately, I just don't. If the steps on your toes a little bit, know that I'm saying everything that I say in love, and it's never meant to be hurtful or harmful to you at all. But I just cannot get behind somebody that is a entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, an actual entrepreneur, or whatever kind of entrepreneur, saying phrases you want to come up with. Cannot get behind anybody that's in business that has not invested in themselves educationally in their specific area and niche of their business. I can't. Because there's no way that you can know everything that you need to know about your business without adding in new information. Most problems can be solved in your business with new information and simply moving faster. And you can only move faster with more and new information. The best that you know, the very best that you have learned has brought you to today. The very best that we all know has brought us to our level of knowledge, income, and everything and well-being to where we are today. You could always be taking what my specific mantra is: daily progressive steps. And the way that you're able to take some of those daily progressive steps is with new information. So 3 quick books on this particular topic that we've talked about this evening is Home Business Tax Savings Made Easy. This is an older edition, but I keep this physical edition, and I always buy the new updated editions for this year. Links for the books that I'm going to be talking about down in the description below. But this is by Ron Mueller, MBA, PhD, and a whole bunch of other stuff, but one of the people that absolutely describes content about home business tax savings and deductions in plain English. I don't know if you'll be able to see any of this. Uh, so this one is on the page about domestic business travel. I don't know, this is getting white. So a little bit there, you can kind of see some, but not much, but just simple, very big print, very easy to see, very good content, period. It's a little pricey. Also, I believe you go to his website. You pretty much type in home business tax savings made easy, Ron Mueller, into a Google search, and bring you up to his website. I believe it's just home business tax savings made easy.com, maybe, for his website. And you can go there, find his book. And it, again, it is a little bit on the pricey side, but again, you have to invest in yourself at some point. I cannot, again, I just cannot get behind somebody that refuses to invest in the education aspect of their business, because you, to me, are a scary person if you're the one to do that. You just are. If you think you've learned it all, if you think you know it all, sorry, it's going to hurt you in the end. But those are the facts. So that book's a little pricey. The information is more than worth it. If you do not receive your money back from the content that's shared in there and it being put into application, I don't know what else to tell you. Don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. If you don't receive a return on your investment in some form or fashion, I just don't know what to tell you. Okay. But that guy, I buy his book every single year. That's how worth it is to me. So the next guy, that was just, I mean, for the people that get audited by the IRS tax agents, the guy that I'm going to be sharing with you this next book is the one who trained them for many years. And his name is Sandy Botkin. If you can see that book there, it's called Lawyer Taxes Big Time. Again, this particular one is an older edition. This is from 2009, 2010. Again, but another book that I buy every single year. And just incredible stuff. I don't even know if you can see that, if it may be backwards or whatever, but this book it goes into all kinds of stuff. Why you would be brain dead not to start a home-based business if you don't already have one, how to deduct your fund, how to turn your vacation into a tax-deductible write-off, how to get assets and money into a corporation tax-free, fringe benefits that you will love, forming a Nevada corporation or a limited liability corporation in Nevada, finding the best corporate entity for your business, how to turn your car into a tax-deductible gold mine. So a lot of the things that we talked about and that we covered, a lot of these books, it just updates the information, the changes and stuff like that, especially with this new tax book coming out. I'm definitely picking up a physical copy of both of these new books this year. But incredible, incredible, incredible book, these two books. If you buy nothing else this year for 2018, buy those two books. The next one is one that I like. I don't feel as heavily in love with the book as I do those other two, but always good. Nolo, which is Nolo. You can see from that particular logo right there. Home business tax deductions, keep what you earn. And basically saying the same thing as the other books do, but sometimes in a different way, or maybe it's described in a longer way, so it makes it easier. You want plain English, then these are what you want. These two right here. So these two books, that's what you want. Again, links are down in the description below. If you're watching this live on the rebroadcast, thanks for tuning in. But guys, got to make sure that you come to the live stream on Friday. If you have a friend or somebody that you know and care about that is wanting to start their own small home business, especially a home-based business, you're going to want to join the live stream on Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm going to be unpacking some of these concepts. We talked about them. Talked about how some of those can be used in relation to those, so that you can start to remove some of the anxiety, so that you can become a competent entrepreneur in your specific area of business. When it comes to the financial side, it's fine if you want to hire an accountant. It's fine if you want to hire a specific person that has been trained specifically in home business tax deductions and savings. It's fine if you want to hand over those things to those that understand them. And again, I'm not a CPA, tax accountant, or any of that other stuff. Seek legal professional advice and all that good jazz. That is my, what do you call it? The warning, okay? So, but at the end of the day, you want to know what it is that they're actually doing when it comes to your business. You want to take a care into the financial health of your business. Most people start a business or have a desire to start a business because they feel less than, they feel just undervalued, underappreciated, and overworked and underpaid when it comes to maybe their jobs or professions that they're working in, or even if they're getting paid swell, they feel unfulfilled in their lives. And that is a problem. And that leads to depression, it leads to medication. And it has led to a lot of people's death, especially young people and millennials. And it's a very near and dear topic to my heart. And it bothers me. It bothers me that people won't seek their purpose and their passion in life and seek to fulfill it. That's a problem. Knowing this stuff is more than just knowing the taxes for me. It's being in a position to provide you with the tools and the resources to put in your own toolbox for your business so that you can create the business that you want, even if it is as a side hustle to what it is that you're doing your 9 to 5 job. It doesn't take a lot. Don't be overwhelmed simply because I may be describing a lot of things or going over and unpacking a lot of content. Don't be overwhelmed. You really only need to know a few things and know how to be the best client when it comes to your tax professional and how to present and provide the information to them so that they love you. So you just need to know a few things. You don't need to know all of these different books. That's my job. Your job is to know what becomes important to you, how you're impacted in your business for your particular state and the area of business that you're in, and be able to provide those to your tax professional or accountant in such a way that it serves your business so that you can do what it is that you love headache free, know how to present your information, and move on. So I hope that you got some value out of the content that I shared tonight. Really enjoyed having these conversations about this. And again, when I discovered just how much people can be freed mentally, emotionally, and just be able to build themselves and their business more strategically and on purpose and stress free, at the end of the day, that becomes one of the most important things in the most important areas of my consulting business is helping people to understand how to be a competent, relaxed, carefree to some extent entrepreneur so that you can do what you love, run your business, operate your business like a business. And being an entrepreneur means getting in the trenches and doing the work. Just do the work. And your work, it's not that much. It's not that much. As always, my friends, I encourage you guys to truly, truly live with passion. I'll see you guys on Friday's live stream at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you subscribe to Entree Woman TV. Hit that bell notification so that you get notified when we go live. But as always, my friends, live with passion. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, everyone.